All right, in this video, we're gonna be talking about 3 tips that will make the home buying process a lot less stressful to you. I know a lot of people freak out about buying a home in this market. It can be very stressful, but it doesn't have to be. So let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to the YouTube channel, you guys. I'm Jason with Greater Nixa Homes, and on this channel, we talk about all things real estate from Nixa down to Branson. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. All right, so let's talk about the 3 tips that I think will make your home buying process a lot less stressful for you. All right, tip number 1 is learning all you can about the mortgage process. Most people are gonna need a loan. If you're a first-time home buyer, even for people that maybe have already had a home, but you've been in the home for 30 years and you're going to be downsizing. It's been a long time since you've had to buy a house. This will apply to you also. So understanding the mortgage process is really key to make your experience buying a home less stressful. And that's understanding all of the loan products that are out there. A lot of people are under the misconception that you have to have 20% down to buy a house. And that's just not true. Knowing all of the loan products that are out there, talking with your realtor and your lender, interviewing lenders really is the first key step that I would suggest on this tip here, your sub tip, if you will. Once you're understanding and wanting to really evaluate the mortgage process, is finding a good lender that you work well with. I've got 2 or 3 for the residential purchases that I could suggest for you if you need some referrals. But talk to your family, talk to your friends, your church friends, and people that you know, like, and trust already that have gone through this process recently, and interview a few of them. And then make a decision based on who you feel comfortable with. But there's a myth a lot of times that people think if I have my credit run by all these different lenders, it's gonna ding my credit. And that's just not true. I've got a little excerpt from my blog, which if you want to read more about all of these tips on my website, I'll leave a link for it right down in the description below, but I'll just pull it up here. Actually, according to Fair Isaacs Corp, which is the creator of the FICO model, it states that the multiple mortgage inquiries that occur within 30 days of one another do not affect your credit score. That's according to Greg DePercio at Investopedia.com. To be safe, according to Craig Berry at themortgagereports.com, try to submit all of your loan applications within a 2-week period. So if you're within 14 to 30 days, FICO understands that you're only going to get one mortgage. So you don't have to worry about having lenders run, 2 or 3 different lenders run your credit report and it affecting your credit score. So I just want to debunk that myth while we're talking about it. So another part of understanding the mortgage process is what your lender is going to be looking at in order to get you pre-qualified for a loan. I know a lot of people that have come to me and said, well, I've had a solid job, I make lots of money, so I'm not going to have a problem getting pre-qualified for a loan. I've come to find that a lot of people miss the step of the debt to income ratio aspect of pre-qualifying. You can make all the money in the world if you're driving a Ferrari and you've got 500 other bills going on. It's going to affect your debt to income ratio, how much money you make versus how much you owe annually. They're going to have a certain percentage. The lenders will look at maybe 36%, maybe a little bit more on some particular loans, but they're going to look at how much you owe versus how much you make, your gross household income versus all of the revolving debt that you've got. So that's an important key factor that you want to take into consideration. Go online, check out a debt to income ratio calculator for yourself and just kind of plug in some numbers so that you kind of know where you're at before you even talk to a lender. All right, tip number 2 is don't stress out about the down payment. A lot of people are under the assumption that you have to have 20% down to get a conventional loan. There are actually a lot more people. I can't remember the exact article that I was reading, but I was just reading millennials are actually going more for conventional loans with 3% down. There are conventional loan products for as little as 3% down, which is even more competitive than like a FHA loan. A lot of people are moving away from the FHA loan product. This is what this article that I was reading just recently was talking about, that conventional loans allow you to be able to have a lot less stringent terms on the underwriting side of it. When you're doing a government loan, the government's got their fingers in that loan. So there's a lot more underwriting that has to be done, a lot more oversight. A lot more red tape that you have to go through. But when you go through conventional loan products, typically they're a lot easier to get. They're not going to have a lot of conditions of the house that have to be met with appraisal and stuff, like you would with an FHA or a VA loan. But understanding how much money that you're going to need down is very important so that you're not realizing all of this while you're under contract. Figure all this out before you write the offer so that you know exactly the terms of how you're going to write that contract, and it makes it so much easier for you. All right, if you're a veteran, then of course you would probably be able to qualify for a VA loan, which is zero down. Another zero down product that a lot of people don't know about here in the Midwest, especially in our area, Southwest Missouri, is the USDA loan. It's exactly like the VA loan. It's zero down. Probably this is what my wife and I used to buy our first house. It was a great loan product. There are certain areas that it does not qualify. This is from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, so they're trying to encourage people in rural areas to buy homes, So places like Springfield, one of our most popular, populated cities in our area, does not qualify for USDA loans. But Branson, certainly the areas around Springfield, like Nixa and Ozark, Clever, some of these Republic, these more up and coming areas that are, suburbia areas of Springfield, still qualify for USDA loan products. So check into those too, because those can be really beneficial if, the money down, you don't have, $10, $15, $20,000 saved. You're still going to need some money for like closing costs and inspections and appraisals and things, but that's a great way to get into a starter home with zero money down. All right, so tip number 3, and that's to find the right real estate agent that you want to work with. There's a lot of great realtors out there in our area, of course. I'm a little biased. I think you should probably use somebody that you've been watching on YouTube for some time now, that you know and feel like we have a good relationship with. But in all seriousness, you should probably want to use somebody that you have a good rapport with, that you trust. And that's the main thing. Know that you're going to be working with somebody that's got your best interest. If you go straight to the listing agent, sometimes the lines can get a little blurred because that listing agent is hired by the seller to get them the most amount of money for that house that they can. And so it becomes a hard line to walk on when you're handling both the buyer and the seller. So find a good buyer's agent that is going to be working just for you, that answers their phone. If you are open and you would like to have a conversation with me about helping you buy a house, I'd love to chat with you. You can call or text me, email me anytime. All my contact information is right down in the description below. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this video, you guys. Be sure to check out our blog. I'll put that down in the description as well. You can check out more of my home buying tips right up here in the corner. I'll put a link for all of our home buying tips right there for you. And I'm Jason with Greater Nixa Homes, and I will see you in the next video.